Hi guys, welcome back. I'm gonna start with some potatoes now, finally. It's taken 2 days to get to what I wanted to in the first place. But in the meantime, I've got a whole bunch of recipes that are going into the bags as well. So, first of all, we're gonna take a start by cleaning our potatoes. I found these a long time ago, and I absolutely love them. They're scoring pads made completely out of bamboo, I think. Sisal fibers, whatever those are. But they're organic and they'll biodegrade, and that's awesome. So, some of potatoes are washed. They seem to have gone through a first wash, but they're not completely washed enough. So you gotta kind of wash the potatoes before putting them in bags. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to pause the video because there's a lot of boring time not really spent well. Okay, so I have washed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 potatoes. And I've got all this mess out of it. So those of you who just take your potatoes and throw them in the water, you got a lot of dirt in your system. So washing them is good. I'm going to then again, after clearing out this water, rinse off this, and I'm going to rinse off my potatoes and rewash my cutting board. Okay, so we have cleaned the potatoes, and right now I'm going to show you guys how to make French fries. So, I've got my citric acid and water right here, and after having washed all the potatoes, I'm going to cut about the size of potato I want, and it doesn't have to be exact or specific. You can take your potato and chop it into 3, and then just one time down the center, and you've got perfect potatoes for wedges. So your potatoes are large and chunky, and they're the fastest to make, but they don't fry up really quickly. They're best to be baked. After you make a potato, you do something called blanching, which requires you to boil or to deep fry already to begin with. So when you choose French fried potatoes, you want to choose the largest ones, the longest. And now I'm going to go back to just a regular sized French fry. So for our regular, which when you have a piece like this will be about 4 or 5 potatoes, depending on how lazy I feel. So, and I guess it's 5 this time. By the end of the bucket, it probably won't be. Maybe some of them will be smaller because they're not as wide. But you just keep sliding. And remember how Connor showed you. A lot of people are encouraged to not have their fingers out like I do. It's just that I've been cooking a long time before I knew how to properly cut things, and it's just very foreign to me. Now, if you got potatoes that are that long after you cut them, you can also cut them again if you want your fries to be a little thinner. And believe me, it's a lot easier to blanch thinner potatoes than it is for long ones like the wedges. So I tend to make my fries about that big, and they never cook up as good as they do in a restaurant, like ever. So here, and then cutting through the middle because I don't want to cut my fingers. And you don't want to cut yours, and if you do, don't blame me. So, I guess I'm going to pause it and finish off these, and then I'll grate some more for my latkes, And oh yeah, we're having latkes for dinner. I want to try them with zucchini. Alright, you're on pause for a bit. Okay, so I've got all the fries cut up from that bag, and I'm gonna go ahead and parch them in water and then put them away in another bag. We like to have poutine sometimes, so we're gonna have them sometime this week, I guess. I've got about 4 bags, so I'm probably gonna make about 3 or 4 pots of these, which turn out ultimately to be about 40 cents for a whole bunch of potatoes.